The resistance recognizes its own. You answered the call. You chose the red pill alternative. Now let's awaken the underground. Name it before it names you. Stay sovereign. Stay free.
Red. Hello and good evening. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday evening. We are Awaken the Underground, part of Red Pill Alternative. And I'm excited to see all you. I was watching everyone in the chat as I was standing off to the side, listening to that music. That was freaking awesome, Rob. I absolutely loved that. It was freaking sick. Everyone is enjoying it. Everybody said they loved it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was really awesome. Like, I was off on the side, like, really getting into it. So it was kind of nice to stand back and watch and just get into it and get all of the stuff out for the evening.
Yeah, it's great to be able to get up and perform for you all. I'm really excited to be able to do it, and I appreciate everybody coming on and taking the time to watch, because it's not too often that I get out and get to actually perform music, and I really love doing it. Hopefully soon we'll get some more musicians on, and we want to open the show with other musicians, so that's our goal. So if you know some that are willing to either come in studio or stream live from their studio, we would love to start this broadcast off with other musicians, artists, anything entertaining to begin the show.
Yes. Yeah. And if you notice, like, in the video, we had our new friend in the video. They were commenting on the video also that we have our...
the new logo.
We have a new little logo person we've been working on, but yeah, she's awesome. I'm trying to think of a name for her because she's very cool. But tonight's episode is going to be really fun. I'm pretty sure everybody probably has seen the news over the last week, like what happened on the 29th with Mr. Fauci and his pleading the fifth and not speaking up on anything. And with that, it kind of leads into our thoughts on Facebook. And that's what this entire episode is going to be dedicated to, Facebook in some way. Yeah, because if you remember, last year, Mark Zuckerberg, well, actually it started in 24, I think. He wrote his letter to Congress saying that, hey, we were forced to censor people during COVID. And some of the stuff was true. He said that on Joe Rogan last January. And so that's a big thing. He said, we were forced to censor from the government telling us to do this. And so we're still kind of seeing some of that censorship happen on Facebook. And that's what tonight's episode is dedicated to.
And I remember when that started happening. I think some of you may also remember the first symptom was you couldn't say anything without being corrected by somebody in there.
Yes, fact checkers.
This is official fact check.
Mm-hmm.
So that didn't really go over too well because it sounds like the fact check was incorrect in a few different ways.
Yeah. Sorry, I started watching my stream on my phone and it was kind of jittery, so that's why I was like, what's happening? But yes, so the Fauci thing was kind of funny this last week. Like, I know we were all talking about it online and him pleading the fifth in it and not answering any questions in regard to it. But I mean, at least Zuckerberg did, but now we're still kind of like in between of like, what is it? Like, is it still happening? Is it still, like, how does the censorship still work if it's the company doing it itself? And like, it no longer has the outside force of the government telling it to. So it's like, it still is a silencing of people, regardless of where it's coming from.
Yeah, and I know that their excuse was they were told they needed to censor, but I think there's other media companies that didn't. So
yeah,
I'm having a hard time buying that, whether or not it's true or not. I hope that Zuckerberg continues to make his platform a free speech platform, doesn't weaponize the AI algorithms. But I feel like we have some guests that may have more insight to that.
Yes, and somebody did ask a question. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Somebody did ask a question. How can you plead the fifth when you are already pardoned? I had wondered that too, and then I looked into it, and it's because he was pardoned from anything that happened from 2014 or 15 up until when the pardon was given in 2021. So, or not 2021, I'm sorry, 2024. He did it right before he got out of office. So anything up until then is what he's pardoned for. So anything after the pardon was granted, it doesn't cover. So that's what his deal is. And yes, Johnny, I did see that. It says that the title is messed up. We'll be able to fix that after the episode is finalized.
Yeah, is the stream okay for everybody? We noticed that this time we had a few errors for some reason. The stream seemed to be slower than it was last week. I hope it's not.
Yeah, we got some bitrate things, so I didn't know if anybody else was seeing that.
So far, so good, though. Hopefully.
Yes. I can't even read my paper.
So again, thanks for coming to the stream. This has been a lot of fun. These streams are great, and we're going to have more and more guests as time goes on. Today, we're going to have 2 exciting guests, and I believe we'll be starting off with Vlad.
Yes, Vlad will be the first one that we have come in. He's already on wait, and Gothinator.
And
Gothinator will be after Vlad.
Yeah.
But Vlad has some important things to discuss with us in regards to like Red Pill Alternative and what's going on there with Facebook. And yeah, he said he's got a whole thing set up for us. So
yeah, very excited to hear from both of these gentlemen. They're great people to talk to, super entertaining. They both have some amazing things to say. So please stick around. Please ask questions. Please send questions to us if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions for our show as we continue. Please feel free to get involved. We really, it helps us when you help us come up with some of these questions or comments because we hate missing things, and there's just, these subjects are so deep.
yes. Okay. Sorry, I was taking my jacket off. I was getting hot. Sorry.
You don't get a break.
Sorry, I was like, while you were talking, I was like, I'm going to take my sweatshirt off
No,
because
you
it was
don't
getting
get a
kind of
break.
hot. Okay,
What's this turning into?
Sorry, I just took off my sweatshirt. That's all I did. I didn't
need tips.
It wasn't anything scandalous.
Welcome to OnlyFans.
I thought, well, now the camera shuts off. It shut off on me after
you
I
overheated the camera.
Now it came back. I guess so. That is what happened.
You overheated the camera.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Any comments?
No, there's none now. Day said it was glitchy there for a minute, but I think it might be okay now. Is it still kind of glitchy? I mean, I don't know if there's anything we can really do to fix it, but
I noticed there was an update for OBS, and I decided not to do it because I'm like, oh, if I update, it's going to be messed up. But I think we got more streams than we normally do, and I think the show is just getting more and more popular. So I can't imagine that we're overloading YouTube in any way, but maybe I need to check out my hardware or something on our end. But let us know if it does get glitchy.
And I will say this, Vlad, I see you in the chat on YouTube, and what you're hearing from us in Zoom actually is real time, and YouTube is always behind. It's just how they do it.
Yeah, Vlad, if you're listening to us on Zoom, it's way faster. And yeah, if you're listening to us, if you put us on YouTube, it's going to be a little bit of a mind trip. So
yeah,
might be cool.
Making it rain
going
for
into the
Sarah.
past.
Sorry.
So, okay, one thing that we're asking everybody is we have a new mascot.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to need a name for...
There she is on the video.
So we need a cool
We're
name
trying to
for
come
her.
up with a name for
whoever
her.
can come up with a name, I think, should get some sort of a prize. So we'll think
She
of a
actually,
prize.
she stemmed from creation by Johnny, and then I was like, I want her cyberpunk, and I want her like robotic kind of, and so I like took the image and I put it up there, and that's where she came from.
Yeah. So more to come there.
Yes.
Also, I think I wanted to announce something for our band Mind Pendulum.
Oh, yes.
We are working. We announced it quickly. We are doing a remix contest. I'm working on putting out the material right now. I have the stems getting ready to go out there, but I need some help getting it out and figuring out where to put these stems at so we can get some people to help us remix it. Here's what I'm thinking, and I would love people's comments on this. What I'd like to do is have 2 categories: AI remix and non-AI remix, and then the winner out of both of those goes head to head. And
yes.
And I think that would be fun. I just think it would be cool.
I agree to see the comparisons.
So that way we're including everybody. We're including all possibilities, and then we can kind of really evaluate the whole process, and it'll be fun. And it'd be fun to have our song remixed. It's a song we did back in 2022, 23. I can't even remember.
I think it was 23.
Yeah, we started getting.
It was a
going.
fun little one.
Yeah, we wrote like 2 or 3, and now we're getting ready to write a lot more material.
Yes.
Hopefully. So, also have other material coming from other side projects. So, with that said, do we want to bring Vlad on? And does anybody in the crowd have any questions?
Johnny gave a name for her, Eve with a 3 as the E.
Ooh, that's cool. I like that.
Sounds like Eve, but with a 3 for the demons, E. Like she's evolution 3. I do like that. I do.
I like the Eve with the 3. Yeah, absolutely.
Second 3 is demonic. Yes, I like that. Okay, so on that note, since we have a name possibly for her, we will go ahead and welcome Vlad in. For those of you that do not know, Vlad is the founder of Red Pill Alternative. And he knows, trust me, he knows this.
And before we
he
bring
knows
him
it
on,
all.
I'm gonna tell you he's gonna come on and talk about his love for Facebook. I'm pretty sure that's what we're gonna
Yeah, that's why he wants it. He heard we were doing a Facebook episode and he's like, I want on there. I want to talk about how much I love it.
Yeah. So I don't know. Vlad, I don't know if you're there, buddy.
He
if you
does
can hear
know
me,
what
go
he's
ahead and
doing.
unmute.
Yeah, I think I have to unmute him too.
Okay, I'll let you unmute on our.
Hello.
Oh, there he is.
Can you hear me now?
We can. Okay, we're gonna flip over. Let me know when you're ready, and I'm gonna go ahead and flip over and put you on the camera so I can hide. And get
Oh,
some coffee.
if everybody insists, absolutely.
No, absolutely. So
Right.
with no further ado, let's make sure that the Zoom is working here. It was. Go ahead and maximize.
You know,
that little one right there. You can maximize it. I may have to play around with this. Technical difficulties. So I had the Zoom working, and now it looks like it's just not giving me the full camera. Go ahead and minimize. That could be what's going on. We have YouTube streaming on one computer. We have Zoom streaming on the same computer. I got it. There you are. And now you're magically on. Are you? Can you hear me, Vlad?
I can hear you.
The floor is all yours, sir.
Ah, perfect. Because I'm looking at the YouTube. Oh, there we are. Okay.
You'll come on in just a second. There you
All
are.
right.
Yep.
So I am watching the comments on YouTube, and Day is going to love this one because I really want to start speaking this, my love, I want to profess my love for Facebook, essentially by starting that this is not my first rodeo with Facebook. I have done this before, okay? So there it goes again, right? So, guys, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Vlad Lemets. I am in. Wait, that's the wrong meeting. Anyways, I don't want to talk much about the things that I have done before, but Veterans for Trump Group is something that I absolutely, founded with several people, and it became very successful. But the conversation is about Facebook conduct specifically, and that's what I really want to talk about, what they have done to our previous group and what we see happening right now with Red Pill. So years ago, our Veterans for Trump page was actually hijacked by people operating out of Macedonia, okay? So they took control of our page and, representing casual, like American veterans, and they used the credibility that we built and the audience that we built. So Facebook, the very company that constantly talks to us like we're little children and tells us about foreign influence, they didn't protect us. They could not quickly determine who really owns the pages, and they did not give us any kind of feedback for months. It took many emails, months of infighting. In the meanwhile, the hijacking itself was later documented publicly, and including the fact that North Macedonian people who seized it controlled the page for many, many months before regaining access, and they were bragging about it to the Macedonian news channels. It's hilarious, and publications, okay? So I was a guy who fought to get the page back, and I would like to say that It was seamless, asking Facebook, hey, we have a problem, address it, but that's not what happened, okay? It took countless replies. It took getting business suites. It took media attention. It took launching a full-blown investigation by a known group of veterans called Vietnam Veterans of America. It took multiple publications by different magazines like Washington Post, and the like, until Facebook finally decided to act. So when it comes to, actual foreign actors who stole our page, Facebook was ridiculously slow. They acted confused and ineffective. But when Facebook decided to remove legitimate American political organizations, suddenly the system became incredibly efficient. So that's the humor of all of this. So, and at that time, the Veterans for Trump was not some like irrelevant little Facebook group. We have built an audience of more than 300,000 people. Okay. And we had a recognizable political organization with real reach, real influence, and prominent people attached to it. So going back into this history, and I'm sorry for a little bit of monologue. I'm coming through okay?
Oh,
Yeah.
You're coming through
Yes,
great.
you are.
No, absolutely. You're making some amazing points, and I'm all ears.
Well, it's just the story, and I want to share this. I want people to be aware of what exactly happened and what we're doing about all of this, because believe me, there are steps being taken for all of this, not just red pill,
Right.
but the Facebook situation is being addressed, right? So, but at that time, one of the co-founders, Joshua Macias, later became like a very visible figure in the conflict leading up to 2020 election. He was actually arrested near Philadelphia vote counting site in November 2020. And he was put on $1 million bail, but it's a separate story. I'll tell you about it later. I had to help raise money to get him out of there. But he became involved in prolonged legal battle with Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner, okay? And he was publicly accused without any evidence by Larry Krasner of playing a significant role in a broader effort surrounding January 6th, okay? So Macias was not charged with anything in the Capitol riot itself, but his associations and his speeches and his political activity became publicly scrutinized because of our close relationship and connection with, Proud Boys and Oath Keepers and the personal friendship that, he held over the years. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and I'm not going to pretend that Facebook sent like a clean letter saying we removed your organization because of Joshua Macias, January 6th, or any of the Stop the Steal stuff. They didn't give us that courtesy. Okay, they gave us virtually nothing. One day, the page with 300,000 people was just poof, gone. Okay. So after January 6th, Facebook was actually aggressively removing networks, movements and organizations associated with Stop the Steal, malicious, dangerous organizations, and people who, in their opinion, incited and coordinated political activity. Okay? Does it sound familiar to you? The tactics of this?
Well, yeah, it's more than familiar to me, Vlad, because I've had it personally, but not as big of a group as what you have. But yes, it's happened.
I have seen people's lives destroyed utterly. Okay, to this day, we're talking 6 years later. Josh cannot leave the state of Virginia without letting everybody know that he's a big boy and he's allowed to travel. This is crazy. Okay, and there's effectively still a muzzle order on him. So people like me have to speak on his behalf. So there's that. So once machinery was activated, context, it basically stops mattering, okay? Individual contact doesn't matter at this point anymore. So, people have been in our groups discussing for a long time things like Stop the Steal, election integrity, and, government overreach. I cannot prove private motive why Facebook did what they did, or quite frankly, only Facebook knows, and it conceals all the evidence. That's not a weakness in my argument. If anything, it's the indictment of it. They can erase organizations, hide the charge, conceal evidence, and then say they are a third-party platform, okay, so they can make independent decisions about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and approaching 2024 election, Veterans for Trump page, just with 300,000 followers, has just disappeared, okay? Mm-hmm. No explanation, no due process, no nothing. And, again, no violations, no appeal process, no decision-making, nothing, just poof, gone.
And this,
whether it is because...
And Facebook is the public arena. I mean, that's where people have gravitated to, and I feel like it should be accountable for some of this stuff, because it's just, as you're alluding to, and I won't pull any punches. I think that they have an agenda, and their agenda shifts towards one view, and that view is how they regulate their content on the network. I've had it happen to me, and what you're saying is just another example.
Well, I mean, they did it to the sitting president of the United States.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that little example.
They took him off completely.
Yeah, small example.
Yeah.
So I wish people
we
would
are
get
doing
off Facebook.
something about this. Yeah. But Facebook is, private forum when it's convenient for them, and a private enterprise when it is convenient for them. That's kind of the whole root of the problem. So, but again, think about this. On the eve of the election, they didn't do this right surrounding the 2020 or the January 6th. They waited till, eve of the election to say, oh, wait, well, now we have figured out conveniently enough that, your group is somehow responsible, as a larger, broader, messaging, dissemination for what has happened, and your people are involved in things. But again, I'm just guesstimating here. That's what they're thinking. Because I don't know, because our page with 300,000 followers got removed. No warning, no due process, nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so this is the interesting part. And again, the strangest part is there are still bits and pieces of this inside Facebook business infrastructure. Okay. Still receive prompts involving advertisement, involving updating our corporate EIN, and the fact that the page is still making money. The page that does not exist is still making a couple dollars here and there. How's that? Hilarious, right? So apparently Facebook still sees it somewhere, and its advertising system remembers that money was involved. The business manager suite remembers that there were documents, that it wants the documents, and support system suddenly cannot change location and all of this. So the page exists enough to generate money, but not enough for Facebook to return it to its owners. That's essentially what it is. Mm-hmm. And it is sitting in some kind of digital purgatory. Now,
there's no way to contact them.
Red Pill, well,
sorry, I might have
we're
jumped
going
ahead.
to that.
Okay.
Right. No.
Sorry.
We have organizations and people that are working on that specifically, and that are involved in quite a bit of this. Make no mistake, our allies and some very noteworthy veterans are suing Facebook right now. And this is going to be big news when it hits, right? So, but we're going with the same thing with a red pill alternative right now. First of all, the basic process. First, they accused a group of facilitating drug sales because of the name, red pill, right? It's almost like we're peddling some pills over here. What is this? Instead of blue pills, we're selling people red pills.
Yeah,
this is kind of funny.
We're peddling red pills, but it is actually worse than the drugs. We're actually peddling the Matrix one, where we escape the Matrix, and they don't want that. I think
right.
I think they'd be okay.
Well, and that's kind of the way I look at
drugs.
it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I mean, waking people up is a major drug these days, apparently, and essentially all we've ever been trying to do is tell people, look, we're not telling people to think conservative. No. Could we ever think, think conservative? No. All we ever said is what? Think for yourself.
Yes. Think for yourself.
That's it.
Absolutely.
We present you the facts. Here is, actual data. Make your own conclusions. Think for yourself.
And the motto of Red Pill that really got me in was the no safe spaces, only free places. And that's I think the motto for a lot of counterculture groups, no matter what your political alignment, if you've been on the traditional Democratic left, if you've been on the traditional right, if you've been a centrist, I think we all can agree on that. And that's where I see us coming together for stuff like this.
So, and you're right, and continue on this, our original page, our original group in Red Pill reached 200 something, group members, and then suddenly, miraculously, it was removed from Facebook, and we can see it, but nobody else can see it, and on a pretense of drugs and blah blah blah, right? And then we contacted support multiple times. I even spoke with somebody on WebEx for this poor woman. I spoke with her for 2 hours on WebEx. Right? They see the problem. There's nothing they can do about the problem because it's an automated system, and it requires larger department involvement, which they cannot escalate it to because the system must run its course. Mm-hmm. And that's, coming from 4 or 5 different people that we've spoken to. And again, think about this. No buyer, no seller. The page that says pills, auto-flagged, somebody has to have either, oversight or approved it message. I'd imagine so. I mean, that's what it says on screenshots when you go on the page saying a member of our team has overviewed this automatic flag and took action, right? That's literally what it says. But on June 4th, that this stuff initially happened, okay? So Canvas hours, WebEx calls, screenshots, recordings, support conversations, and no result. Quite frankly, we created the new group page since then. We quadrupled it in size to over 800 members now, and we also have a main page group with 300 members, and then our main page get hit with the same thing just a couple of days ago. You guys saw it, right?
Yeah.
But then we were able to appeal the process, and again, just like the first time, we immediately went. And this time I spoke probably with like 5-6 people. So, and, exchanging emails, flooding them with screenshots, writing, the Facebook support saying, hey, this is obviously a mistake,
Vlad, can I ask you, what was there? What's the sentiment that you're getting from these people? Are they acting like they're trying to help? What's your experience been like?
Overarching thing of what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm getting to that with the page. The page got fixed within a couple of days over there and reverted back to good standing. But there has been no communication because whenever I communicated with anybody about the page, the overarching idea is saying, well, we see that there is a problem, but there is nothing we can do about it. We've got to let the system ride its course, which is essentially, again, all of this 5-6 conversations later. Same exact thing over and over again. I raise my hands, and a couple of days later, the page is fixed. The group is in same still limbo, which it was from months ago. Now it is, 2 months.
Did they tell you what the system was that needed to ride its course? Did they describe that? It sounds like they're not in control of it themselves.
Yeah, exactly. So they're saying the automated system that AI flagged something, and if one of their team members approved something, it has to be essentially now go through the process, and there is a queue there, and I do not know how huge their queue has to be for somebody to take 2 months to review the thing. But if our bureaucracy for a simple social media platform is that large, we probably should update their code a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Maybe let Grok comb through that and find the inefficiencies. Jokes aside.
Saying Meta isn't that good.
Yeah. But what I've gathered to is every corporate request, every employee was trained to apologize, but nobody was empowered to act. Okay.
Yeah.
Facebook has like perfect empathy, right? But without any responsibility. And, it sounds familiar, right? So, and that's exactly the kind of system Red Pill exists to fight. Okay. So, am I surprised that from the very start of us, saying this is what we're about, we are meeting quite literally the resistance of a Mr. Smith matrix kind from the system itself, right? quite fitting. But I'll tell you what, this is only gonna give us good material for our first publication. That's all. But again, to this point, power is everywhere in Facebook. Responsibility is nowhere. And individual is told that the system made the decision. Then employee says that it is about their authority. The supervisor cannot be reached. The evidence cannot be disclosed. Appeal must be filed one after another, after another, after another.
So
Does it sound like anything you're familiar with, right? Any kind of government system?
So I have a question for you, because Zuckerberg himself, he said on the Joe Rogan show last year, he said, Facebook owns its decisions. It owns what it's done.
You know what? I was just going to say this.
So does it feel like they
thank
do?
You took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah. Do they feel like they are?
Here's the reality. Well, you know what? Good. I want him to own this decision, okay? Because this is how freedom dies. Freedom dies inside bureaucracies. It's not always through one dramatic order, it's through 1,000 anonymous small decisions that nobody's allowed to question. Okay, that's the reality of it. Control doesn't arrive wearing a uniform. No. It arrives through notifications generated by a system that nobody is controlling. Right. So, and Facebook doesn't need to, be perfectly coordinated to become dangerous.
Look, because it also instills it in people to censor themselves in groups and everything.
Exactly. They built that system in. You're right. In some ways, it's actually worse because it can destroy people randomly and then leave them trapped in a maze where human beings cannot reverse any damage.
Yeah.
Right. So their system knows how to take a page down. Page down, and then it suddenly develops amnesia when asked why.
Yeah.
So again, Zuckerberg said Meta owns the decision. Again, good, own them, because we are gonna make a case out of this. We are gonna talk about this, and we are gonna ask some questions. Show us what exactly we have violated. Okay, if we have peddled drugs, I would like to see some of those drugs. If we're going to be accused of being drug dealers, I would at the very least like to have some of those drugs. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sounds like Facebook needs the red pill.
It does sound like Facebook needs the red pill.
Tell us who made the decision. Give us a human being capable of reversing it. Otherwise, stop pretending that this appeal process or button constitutes any due process in, sober planet. So anyways, at this time, red pill is not making the same mistake. We're after everything that we've gone through years, we're not building our entire movement on rented ground.
Exactly.
And that's something that I wanted to bring up to our attention. Okay. So we are not building just a Facebook page as excuse my language, as a fuck all. Okay.
Yes.
We are simultaneously, building out all the social medias. Okay. We have 16 social medias that we're building out right now, and we are elevating our own social media. Okay. The co-founder, our core member here, the Carrot King himself, the president of organization Trust, he has built a social media called Pindex, and we are going to have it as our prime social media that we're going to be using in our movement to, how do you say it? Awaken and unite the underground. That's the thought process that we're having. So we are heavily investing in our own ecosystem, and we're diversifying all of our following across multiple systems. Okay, we are not making the same mistake once again with Facebook and putting all eggs in the same basket. So, and then every trace, every restriction and every coordinated attack and every trace of what Facebook has done, they're constantly, erasing to where it's not available for us to view. So be it. We don't care at this point. What I am seeing more than anything, and we have it documented in screenshots, is the admission that the very system and their own personnel cannot correct what their company has built. Okay. And that's more important to me than saying, oh, Facebook is a malevolent actor in all of this. Look, the result is the same. Whether they are a malevolent actor or whether they are lost in their own bullshit, the result is essentially the same. Okay. We need to build parallel structures, and we're doing that. We absolutely must. So, and, to that end, the record is not going to disappear with our page. And several of our powerful allies are already examining the broader patterns and working through legal options available to us. So I'm not going to discuss every conversational strategy publicly before it's proper time, but Facebook should not mistake our restraint for passivity. That's the reality of it. So, I kind of want to finish with this a little bit, but I will just say this will not be left inside a support chat to die, okay? And we are giving Facebook the opportunity to correct their own mistakes, but if they refuse to identify the charge, disclose evidence, provide meaningful human interaction to wrongfully, fix what they have so conveniently messed up on, legal avenue always remains available. Ownership without accountability is just branding. And that's my thought process on this. Do you have any questions?
I have a bunch of questions. Your mic's not working. Get close to it.
This time we kept receipts.
Yeah. So, one moment here.
And yes,
Vlad,
somebody in the chat said, we're not selling Viagra. Yes, we're not selling Viagra. Yes, there we go. And not even labeled as a red alternative to the blue pill. This is hilarious.
Let's step up into mine. Oh, hang on. Check. Here we go. You're good.
Okay.
Small technical
Sorry,
difficulty.
my microphone went out for a second, but he fixed it. Yeah. So
I'm going to let Sarah go
No worries.
first. I have questions as
I'm
well.
just sitting here chugging my canned cold brew coffee.
So one thing I was thinking, because I was looking into the doctrine through all this, and I know, and that's the one I put out today on the Red Pill Alternatives page, actually, about corporate, I forget the exact, corporate capture.
Corporate capture.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it was...
That goes directly in this conversation.
Yes, and it's interesting because it really gets into, how corporate, it censors us, and then we end up censoring ourselves. And so it's like, and I see that like with the moderation and stuff and what Facebook like says, if you don't do this, then you're going to get flagged, you're going to have issues. And so it's like it's formed us into what it wants us to do. And also one of the things in the doctrine, you had mentioned this the other day too, and I absolutely love this about personal liberty versus control, and like using that to evaluate everything in regard to it. And then it's like, if you look at Facebook, it's like, do we have personal liberty on there, or is it like a control mechanism? And that's what I've been thinking about, because it is a control mechanism. And that's why I think it's awesome.
It is a control action. And not only it's a control mechanism, it's a self-correcting control mechanism with groupthink. Because one thing I keep constantly hearing from people that I spoke to in support is that our page got flagged multiple times and reported as drug use. So that tells me, and by the way, all of that happened after we have reposted that news article about Antifa members being charged as domestic terrorists.
Yeah, I remember that.
Immediately after that, that's when the page got suspended or erased from Facebook, right? So, and as per the person that I spoke on the phone with, on WebEx, is our page has been reported multiple times for drug use on that date. So, what does it tell you? Okay, that tells you that Facebook's self-correcting system is designed for groupthink.
Yep.
Okay, they don't like what you're saying, they're gonna cancel you. True or untrue, does it matter at this point if we're fighting for 2 months to have a voice?
Mm-hmm. And that's what.
So,
yeah, that's crazy. That it just then there's no validation.
Yeah, and the digital age, it intensifies corporate capture even more because a culture lives perpetually, online and perpetually in this controlled platforms. Okay?
Yeah.
So I don't think if it wasn't for Elon Musk, we would even have any kind of resemblance of a free speech. You're certainly not going to find it on Facebook. I was just trying to bring up to the point that they are acting as a platform for people's voice, and they're also acting as a public forum, and they're acting as a private company at the same time. They're talking out of both sides of their mouths, and they're one when it's convenient, and the other when it's not convenient. Okay, so that is the thought process, and what we need to start realizing is, again, with everything that we do, the larger question is not the left versus the right. No, that is not. Okay, the larger question of, and it's a bigger question, part of our lifetime, is liberty versus control.
Yes.
Okay, and that's essentially what everything boils down to in my question. Whenever I hear these talking points that people talk about, there's so many issues people always talk about. Oh, Second Amendment. What's your opinion on? Are you pro-life or pro-choice? Look, I'm gonna tell you very simple. My opinion is I am pro no fucking nonsense. Excuse my language, okay? And I think a lot of it is nonsense because the debate really, in my at least view, is what are we doing? Are we empowering the individual or are we empowering the state and the control system, okay? Because I don't care what you do and what kind of sins you want to put on your soul, and your relationship with your doctor and with your unborn bloodline is your own, okay? It is called personal responsibility. You exercise it. It's not mine. But when you're telling me that I need to pay taxes in a civilized society, so I have to be partially responsible for your bad fucking decisions, that's when I'm having a problem, okay? So again, to me, it's not about like, hey, you what you want to do is your deal, okay? It's about liberty versus control. If you're trying to, put us as, citizens of the Republic in a pigeonhole and tell us how we should live, who we should listen to, and how government is going to dictate what we do, I'm not okay with that, okay? Does it empower the individual or does it empower the state? That is the question that, all of these debates boil down to me, okay? It's not a left versus right thing.
Exactly.
Okay, and by the way, just one thing that I want to point out about the hilarity of the entire need for our movement, okay? The alternative movement has never been political to begin with. Well, we are forced to be political now because we have a bunch of new people coming into alternative scene, and suddenly they're telling us, the alternative scene always been left-leaning, we've always been anti-federal government. Well, okay, so listen, I just want to do, the logic in this statement is like this, okay? Because a bunch of insecure tribalist communist fascists who are collectivists have gathered together and they're saying they are the new gatekeeping authority on the alternative culture. And their entire premise is we are collectivists. I'm sorry. Alternative culture is an outsider culture. Okay? We're about individual liberty. We're about empowering the individual, not the state. Okay? Communism is the epitome of the state and control system. You are trying to tell us that we're the outsiders. Get real with it. It's a clown show. Okay? So, and that's what we're about. We're trying to wake people up and tell them, listen, you don't need to listen to these clowns. We, in a very short time here, are going to be the Rolling Stones of the conservative alternative culture, okay? And whether you are conservative or not, I hope you are pro-liberty and for personal responsibility and for, your individual rights, because that's what we're all about, okay? And we're not going to take no nonsense from, these freaking insecure bullies.
So, Vlad, I really like what you're saying about freedom versus control. But how would you address the people, and there's a lot of people I come across that they just don't see the infrastructure the way you see it. They haven't had the problems. They think that these corporate entities are offering free speech and freedom because they're so trapped in the echo chamber. How would you explain that to those people? How do you enlighten those, or can we?
It's just funny. A day is going to kill me. I can see the systems because I have done this before. And I have seen what they do to people, okay? Look, if you think that private enterprises are corrupt and the government is not, you don't understand the problem, okay? Any system of power is a system of power for its own sake. Our founding fathers understood that very well, and that's why they wanted limited government for and by the people, okay? And communism has absolutely no place in a civilized republic. And a matter of fact, communism is a suicide pill for the republic. Okay, it's an ultimate I give up. You know, it's an ultimate, the quote that Obama did, that an individual is, how did he say it, is not can see the bigger picture and regulate their own decisions. And there's an exact quote on there somewhere on this, but it basically says an individual is too small-minded to regulate their own lives. Okay, with that approach, maybe. Okay, and that's what's your solution? Okay, government, brand, states, because that worked out so well everywhere. You know, I have advantage to have, you know, come from a communist Russia, you know, and a lot of my friends come from communist Cuba, and you know, we do communicate with people who have lived through these regimes. And in Veterans for Trump, some of our bigger allies were our Arabs for Trump, you know, Muslims for Trump specifically. You know, there's also gays for Trump. So always been working with people who have been exposed to this, who have seen it firsthand, and who woken up to the reality and smelled the roses. So the only thing I could tell you is exposure. And that's exactly what the left doesn't want to do. Look,
well, I mean,
we are more connected now than ever before in this society now because of technology, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, before, everything was in the palm of your hand. You had to go out and you had to meet people. You had to be exposed to other people's opinion and hear, you know, what they have to say and be a human being. Because right now, what it looks like is a bunch of little dogs barking at each other through the glass door. And the moment the door is open, they're going to be suddenly, no problem here. I'm not trying to start nothing. Because, you know, they're all so big, tough, and bad across the glass. But the moment you put them together, they're not that way. Now, powers that be understand that. And because everything is within the palm of your hand, what we have now is a bunch of echo chambers. Because if you no longer like what you're hearing from the group that is exposing you to a different opinion, they say, oh my God, a bunch of racists, Nazis, hypocrites, and you go and you find yourself an echo chamber that you prefer. Okay? They're cults. All of these things are cults. And what we're trying to do is we're not trying to tell people, hey, think conservative, vote Trump. No, listen, now what I'm telling you is think for yourself.
Yeah.
Well, these people want to divide everyone, and that's why they play, what I see is they play very, these fine lines between all these different groups to try and get everybody to think that they're so dissimilar. And what I see when I meet most groups, and I was one of those people, I would say, in school that had the friend groups, and like every friend group, right? And most people, they want the same things. And I've just seen this divide, and what you're pointing out is that, you know, this, and I don't even like calling them the left, because I know I have friends that are Democrats, they're classic Democrats, and they identify as the left. So you say the left, and they're like, yeah, you're talking about me. No, I'm not really talking about you. I think I like to say the woke, because that's the best way I can explain it. It's this group that is not, they don't feel like anything that America represents, or freedom, for that matter of fact. So I try to categorize them that way. I don't know if does that make sense, or is there a better way I could address them?
Yeah. You know, I think the best thing you could do is open a conversation and show to them that, hey, we're willing to listen. We're even willing to listen to communists, quite frankly. You know why? Because we're Americans, and because we believe in freedom of speech, okay? Because you can speak about, you know, your terrible system that killed 100 million people without being prosecuted and thrown off the tops of the rooftops, or, you know, killed with, you know, shot in the back of your head by the wall, okay? Because we live in a constitutional republic. Now, if the shoe was on the other hand, would they listen to us? I do not know. I don't think so. Do you? I mean, historically, they never have. Look, I'm going to just say this.
I don't think so.
Corporate capture, you know, you brought this up before. Corporate capture succeeds because it offers psychological reward that is addicting like crack. Okay? So it tells the consumer, here we are talking about drugs again, right? On Red Pill. That's why they banned us. It's hilarious, right? But it offers the consumer, the feeling that they can be brave without danger. They could be different without the isolation, righteous without the discipline, and rebellious without consequence. Okay? So that's why we are where we are. It panders to the unthinking majority. It doesn't want them to think. It doesn't want them to wake up. It wants them disseminated and fragmented in smaller groups. Okay, so any serious alternative culture must reject that bargain, and that's what we're about. We're building it ground up as a serious intellectual alternative culture.
I like that.
Yeah, this is. I really like what you're bringing to the table here.
I'm excited to be part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited to have learned about this, and excited to talk to people as we continue with this podcast and really. And get people's information about what they think and their experiences. You're bringing a lot. You brought a lot to the table, and there's so much that resonates with me that you talked about today. What are the next steps for you at Red Pill? What you talked about these other social medias. What are your suggestions for people moving forward? What should they look out for?
I'm not going to reveal all of our plans, but, an old man taught me this lesson, never say everything you know. But I will say this, what we must do, we must build institutions, okay? Mm-hmm. We must create culture, build institutions, and reward courage. And we must train our, allies and citizens. We are going to unite the very much fragmented alternative culture. Mm-hmm. I wanted to do this from the start with certain groups, and we're going to continue doing this and expanding, okay? And we're going to build our own culture. We're going to have our own record label. We're going to bring the musicians, the canceled musicians who have been canceled because they are what? Conservative. It's more of a crime coming out as a conservative than it is coming out, So we're going to do that. We're going to build culture. We're going to build literature. We're going to have our own publications. We're going to have our own record label. We're going to have our own merch. We're going to have our own events. Mm-hmm. You betcha. As of right now, any single event that we go to in conservative circles, alternative culture is not present. Maybe country music.
Well, what? Just to clarify,
we're going to change that.
Just to clarify, Vlad, it's not just conservative circles too, right? It's centrist and it's even classic Democrats. I know there was this hashtag.
I'm just giving to you as an example because,
right?
As an example, because I do not see a lot of America 250 tours that are heavily sponsored by the left. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
right. But who is the left in America now? That's my question.
Right. Communists, right?
Yeah.
So, and people who are unaware that their party has been hijacked. That's essentially where I'm getting with this. But the point that I'm trying to make, whenever we go places, any of the America 250 tours or, CPACs or any of the big conservative events, there never has been rock and roll in there. It's always been country. I am sick of it. We're going to change it. I want to bring some rock and roll. I want to bring some goths. I want to bring some goth girls for a photo shoot with Mr. Trump. We're going to do that. We're going to accomplish that. We're gonna revitalize and bring life into the alternative culture. It's going to be renaissance, and that's what I'm here for.
Yes, me too.
Well, Vlad, I'm 100% on board with that. I think this is a very noble idea. And we've seen the things you've done in the past, and you are very motivated, and the people that I talk to are extremely inspired by what you have coming for us, and we're fully excited to move forward with this.
I don't have it coming for you guys. Okay, I don't. This is not a Vlad show. I want to be very, very clear. Okay.
No, it's not.
It's all you, Vlad.
It's all
as for
Vlad.
a day, okay, I have done this before, and I no longer want to do it the Vlad show. Okay. No, this is going to be about all of us, our entire community.
Oh, absolutely.
Every single person in here. I want every single person in here empowered, and I want every single person here to be financially stable and successful. Because weak people and people who are not, emotionally secure, they make bad allies. So if we're to build a movement, I want every single person in here on the ground level to be one of our people who are empowered, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
And you have very much. You're a big inspiration. So I want to give you some credit there. You're very inspiring, and you have a lot of passion for this, and I can tell. And I've been around a lot of people that have said things, but you make things happen, and the people that we're working with too are making things happen. There's people behind the scenes that are doing some amazing things, and I really feel like this is the time. There's something coming.
It is.
It's the time. You can feel it, and so yeah. With that said, thank you very much for taking the time to tell us
appreciate it.
How amazing Facebook is and great experience. And did you give them a 5-star review?
A 5-star review.
5-star review.
Yes.
I'm giving them a 6-star review. Yes. One for every year that they have been the enemy of the people that they are claiming to empower.
You don't have to get me started.
Yeah.
So
that's very...
I was canceled by them as a musician. I'll platform for a moment here because in 2014, I wrote a song called Brotherhood of Darkness. It was specifically about a Facebook algorithm. There was a whole plan, and I don't know if you remember this. I can't remember the name of what it was called, but they had a psychological plan where they actually put people in an echo chamber, depressed people, and a couple of people killed themselves. That was exposed. You can search this online. I'll find the documents and add to this video. A couple of people killed themselves. The people at Facebook that were working on the program exposed it. People have no clue just how corrupt and how much power these people have. And ever since then, I've been very passionate about us taking back our culture from these evil people. I mean, the technology has some great possibilities, but in the wrong hands, with the wrong motives, we've seen what it can do. So I'm very inspired by your plan and the plan that many people are starting to put together, which has some really amazing people, caring people behind it.
Well, and guys, the last thing I'll just say, for those of you who don't know, a Red Pill Alternative is a counterculture movement, and it's a hub, and it's a community for music lovers and independent thinkers who reject ideological conformity. And the way I look at this is, if we are to support the American constitutional republic, we have to do it on the level of subcultures. Okay,
absolutely.
Because the indoctrination goes through the youth and through the impressionable young adults, and young adults belong to subcultures. Okay, and this is why they're so terrified. This is why when I first got exposed to this, and I understood the amount of tension that is in goths community, and specifically, and with left versus communism, and how they are claiming that they've always been here and that we're crazy, and that goth has always been left leaning. When you start understanding all of this in a bigger picture, you kind of get the viewpoint of why they're so terrified of being kicked out of the very community that they claim to belong to. Because alternative culture is where a lot of, it's kind of like the melting pot of indoctrination where they all flock, and it gives them ground to say, look at this, our entire youth belongs to us. Okay? And not anymore. I'm sick of it. Not on my watch. We're going to unite everybody. And we're going to remind people that constitutional republic is still the strongest framework for restraining power and protecting liberty and protecting the individual. And that's what it's about.
Yeah, and on top of that, just to remind people that the alternative cultures, when they started, they were always against the mainstream culture. And in the alternative space, these, and I'm going to call them woke, have become the mainstream. And they're bullies.
Yep.
They're no longer alternative. The real alternative culture is sitting back going, what's going on? And they're ready.
I pointed out that in a meme, and that meme got 500,000 views in one day. That's, exactly those words.
Well, that's right there. It's proof.
And that's why they're terrified. Because who were the biggest people sharing that meme? Was the left. Because they're terrified of hearing that they have become the very thing that they despise, which they have.
They're a paper tiger.
Guys, it is a pleasure. I
Yes.
do want you to please get Johnny on there. I want to hear from our Canadian counterparts because this movement, our movement, I do not presume it's going to be just an American movement. I want to see freedom-loving people all across the globe unite and protect their individual rights. I want to empower individualism all over the planet.
Oh yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Johnny, Canada.
Yeah, and in Europe, and I know we've talked to people in Europe, and just all over. There, I mean, there's so many amazing people around the world that are in the same spot. I think we focus because we're in America. We focus on America so much because we always feel like we're leading the way, and we're kind of protecting that line for the rest of the countries. But we're passionate about freedom, not just for ourselves, but for the full world, as you say.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we need to save the entirety of the Western culture.
Yes, agreed. Western culture.
But it starts here. It does.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It is a pleasure.
Yes,
I'll talk to
thank you
everybody
very
soon.
much.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, and hopefully you can catch the rest of the show. We're gonna have a good interview.
We're gonna
Who's
have
on next?
Gothinator on.
Yeah,
here
Gothinator
next.
is on. So Gothinator, if you're in the crowd, we are ready for you about any time. I'm gonna run away for a moment here, Sarah, and I am going to get some coffee. But he may be on. So Gothinator,
Hello.
let us know if you're here.
Gothinator, are you here? I see your
Calling
image.
Gothinator.
Hello.
Yeah, Gothinator, you're not muted on our end, so just double check the mute on your Zoom, if you can.
I'm not muted. Can you hear me?
Hey, there you are. Welcome.
All right.
to the
Hear you
stream.
now.
Sweet.
Welcome.
Do you have video, Gothinator, or just
Just his picture.
Oh, no, I can fix that. 1 second.
Oh, we gotta get you
Oh.
on camera. Come on.
Gothinator.
Vlad
If it
was
would let
brave.
me.
Vlad. He was in the dark. He was in the
I've
different
been,
lighting.
I've been talking today. I've been very excited about talking to you today.
Yes.
We haven't got to talk too much, but just the things that I've seen from
I
you.
know.
And,
Just
and,
briefly in chat.
Yeah, I'm excited
I think
for
that's working.
Yes, we see
Hey,
you.
there you
Hello.
are.
All right.
Welcome
If it would work.
to the underground.
Yes.
This thing is being
You
weird,
probably
though.
won't.
That's perfect.
That's perfect right there. You won't see us though, but you can see us on the YouTube.
Yeah, but that will be
Yeah.
delayed. So
Yeah, it's delayed.
You know, Vlad, he's a real humble guy, isn't he?
He is.
He's all like, I'm not going to take any
Yeah, I
credit
just-
for this.
I
Like,
just did a couple things.
we're on to you, Vlad. You're going to start taking some credit for yourself because you brought us all together like this.
Exactly.
Let's just take all the credit, Gothinator. Let's not let Vlad have any of it.
I can't take all the credit. All right, that's evil.
It is.
That's collectivism.
That is true.
That is collectivism.
That is
That's
true.
Stalinism.
That's absolutely collectivism.
Yeah, the warmth of it. It's
The
warm.
warmth, yeah. The warmth of
This
collectivism.
is us.
Yeah. You do the thing, and I'll take the credit.
Yeah. But yes,
exactly.
welcome to the live stream. We are so glad to have you on here. Honestly, like
Yeah,
we were
we-
talking about, we're like, yeah.
I think you need
when
a
you
dr-
said
he
you
needs a
wanted to be
drum
on
roll.
here.
I feel like he
I
needs
know.
a drum
If
roll.
I,
I'm going to step over here.
there we go.
Oh.
I did.
Welcome, Gothinator.
Yeah, at long last, I have
Yes.
revealed myself.
Was
my
that, is
true
that
power
good
level.
enough?
Were you muted for a long time? Sorry about that.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
We are unsilencing you now. You
Yes,
are free
You are no
to
longer
speak.
muted. You are free to speak.
All
Tell
right,
us
well,
your story.
I am here. I'm alive. In the flesh.
Yes.
We finally get to have a conversation for once, too.
Yes, we do. So
Instead of just memes.
what was it? I know I talked to you a little bit in chat, and so it's like, what was it that started you on this meme?
Me? Well,
Yeah, the Gothinator.
it was
What
back when-
started?
Oh, Gothinator. I was going to say, well, my mom met my dad one day. But, all right, well, Gothinator.
Wait, I'm all ears.
jeez.
I'm all ears.
I wanna-
It just,
I want to
Go
hear the
way
whole
back.
story.
Go way back. Yes.
yeah, we'll just start from the beginning. When a little semen demon that is me was born, brought into this world. It's terrible.
Perfect.
The world shook.
He was born. Yes.
Well, basically, Gothinator just started off as a meme, unintentional. I explained it before, but I'll do it again. It was basically, if anybody knows that meme where there's like the Terminator and there's like the little girl hiding underneath the table. And like I was just like, oh, it'd be funny if he was like punk looking and just like there's like a scared little commie hiding underneath the desk, you know? So I was like, all right, cool, that's it. But then people in the comments of that meme were all like, oh man, what if that was like what they had some other names for it, but I decided like those names didn't sound good. I was like, Gothinator. Yeah, that works. So it just turned into this whole thing. I had to create a story for him and give him a personality, and it basically turned into Gothinator stands against cancel culture. He stands against gatekeeping and trying to tell people what to do. He's all about individualism and propping people up. Is basically what I was trying to use him for. And people really didn't like that, especially our favorite little enemies.
Yeah,
I
think it's amazing. I love it. I think
all that matters.
Like, it's freaking fantastic.
Hey, if they're mad, I'm doing something right, and they really
100%.
don't like him.
Yeah,
and all the anti-AI, the AI slop. Oh God, the AI slop brigade. They were always my favorite people. They were my most devout fans, always there to tell me how ass I am at everything.
Yes.
Meanwhile, they're sitting in their basement with their piss jars, crying while I'm sitting here making memes and having fun, and then going to work the next day. It was a good life, you know?
Yeah.
What inspired you to come out against cancel culture? Do you have? I mean, other than, and I know you have a story about how you came about, but I feel like that's probably not for this show. But what inspired you to come out against cancel culture? Was there an event? Did you what is it in? Is it just in your blood? Is it family? Is it what inspires you?
Well, I guess if make a long story as short as possible, I grew up around alt culture anyway. Like I was I was punk, horror punk, not really just straight punk. I hung out around a lot of goths and emo and other punks and metal. You know, I'd gone to raves. I went to like shows and everything. Me and my friends were crazy. We were able to go to this one place that we always got in for free because they knew us. They were just like, oh, these crazy bastards. Yeah, just let them in. We never had to pay for tickets.
Cool.
And it was always the thing that drew me to that was in my home growing up, I was never told to be me. I was always told to be someone else.
Okay.
You know, you shouldn't act like that. You shouldn't dress like that. You shouldn't behave this way. And I was always like, fuck you, man. I'm going to do what I want. And I was always just like an asshole about it. So when I was around these kinds of people, I was like, I like this, you know, because back then it wasn't all political. People didn't tell you couldn't be something. They would accept you if you were just being yourself. And I really like that. Right? That's what we're all trying to do is just be us.
Absolutely. That's perfectly said. And I can
around 2008, right? Things started to change.
Yeah.
And everything started getting political. People started drawing lines in the sand just out of nowhere. It was just like a virus just hitting everybody at the same time. It was terrible. And then come around like 2015, 2016, well, you know, the rest is history. It's just been terrible. Now everybody's always saying you can't be this unless you believe in these, politics and everything. It's like, man, you didn't care about politics at all back in the day. Nobody talked about that. I mean, sometimes you'd hear like the anarchists being like, smash the system and crap, but nobody really gave a crap about politics. You heard anybody talk about Democrat or Republican, anything. It was always just like, oh, okay, whatever, dude. I really don't give a shit. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, it's their whole personality now.
Yeah.
I just remember it being, you know, just maybe big issues, you know, war, you know, things that really affected people. But other than that, it was, you know, just the small things that people would, and you could talk with people about it. You could be like, oh yeah, I believe this, or maybe I kind of believe that, and hey, changing my mind on this. And that's what I liked about hanging out with, like what you're describing, I hung out with all sorts of different groups. I mean, I was a skateboarder, I hung out with the punks, I hung out with the goths, way back, right? So exact same.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the skaters too.
Yeah, sorry.
Skaters.
Stupid skaters. But totally.
They're not stupid.
But in the music scene, same thing. You know, you could meet all these great people like you're talking about, and it was just, you know, and it was a learning experience. You got to experience all these different identities, all these different groups and scenes and ways to think. And now, go ahead. I'll let you take it from there. What's it like now?
What is it like now? I hear the honking of noses and squeaky shoes everywhere I go. Lots of clown makeup. You know, it's like a big top circus everywhere you go. You're just stuck in the middle of it. That's what it feels like.
That's a good analogy.
What do you think started it? I mean, like, if you were really in, I know you kind of nail down the time frame, but if you were to say, what changed in people?
You want my honest opinion? I think it was a giant psyop. I think people have been propagandized. The legacy media pushed it. Politicians became very radical, and they just started trying to convert all of us. And those that were too individual or were true to themselves, we're the ones that are caught in the crossfire of all this. The people that are more like collectivist in nature don't really, I don't know. I guess there's some people that just aren't really too into being themselves. They got to be part of a group. They need to be accepted. We deal with that. That's why we see all these groups all the time. There's just a lot of people out there who are too afraid to just be themselves, and they're too afraid to be kicked out of the group. So they have to do everything they can to just believe in being in that place, which, you know, I could understand that to an extent. Like, the whole reason why I was even around the people I was around and the way I grew up is because it felt like these are my people, you know, and all those different cultures, subcultures and everything. Those were my people, because even though we took it in different strides and everything, we expressed ourselves in different ways. At the end of the day, we were just trying to be ourselves.
Yes.
We weren't trying to be anybody else. But now we got all these people trying to gatekeep that. You know, they're trying to tell us what we can and cannot be. And it's like, no, you don't get to just show up one day and be like, actually, it was always like this. This is how it's always been. Don't you know? It's like, since when? Since when, dude? Like, I mean, especially as kids.
Yeah.
These guys weren't even alive long enough to tell us any of this. They were too young back then when we were doing it. And now they're trying to tell us, like, well, actually, it's like, and then a shut up. Like, you don't get to just show up and tell us what to do. And the people that are our age and everything, it's like, you're just a clown. You're a poser. You're the damn poser. All you. Get out of our culture because it doesn't belong to you. You don't get to just show up and tell everybody what they can be. That's the exact opposite point of what this is all about. So I don't know what happened. I think something's been happening in our society for a long time. Like, when you look at what Yuri Bezmenov was saying, for example, that the communists were invading, they're trying to get in, they've been getting into our institutions, getting into our media. We got the CIA that's been pushing propaganda on us for decades. I think what we saw was finally just the trigger. They finally hit it. I mean, the whole world changed after 9/11, if you think about it, right? Everything changed after that. And it's just gotten steadily worse. But then you had that time where Trump ran for the first time, and all of a sudden it's like they hit a switch. They're like, oh, activate the masses, get them out there.
So, Gothinator, I got to pause you on the 9/11 part. So, before we jump into maybe the the 2016 era, I gotta say, and I heard you say this the other day. I totally agree. Something happened around 9/11. I don't think anybody would, I mean, it was a big event, but I feel like, and I have my opinions, but I want to hear your opinion on what do you think changed? How did it change? And why are you identifying this event as a trigger point, possibly even before 2008, obviously, because that was quite a bit before even 2008. I'm interested to hear what you think.
I think the problem is that everyone wants to think that it's just like one deal, right? Like it was just one organization or one group of people, when the whole world always has multiple groups with multiple interests all fighting each other all the time and trying to get a leg up on the other. What happened? Like, look at the 90s, right? How was the 90s compared to what was 2000 like compared to post 2001 9/11? What happened? Well, a big event happened, and then our government taking this opportunity to try to steal our rights and suppress us and pushing propaganda and starting a massive destabilization event of an entire section of the world, right? The whole Middle East just went to shit. Then you got more terrorism, more death, more fighting, more killing. It just kept getting worse and worse. But then once the neocons kind of got ousted because, you know, they lost power because people were so sick of their crap, well, then you got hope and change. What kind of hope and change were we given? What was that all about? There was no hope. And the change that we got was pretty bad.
And it's
then
such
we
a
felt a little
subjective
hopeless.
term. Both of them are subjective.
Yeah.
It's like,
It was just pure propaganda. They were lying to us. So then we had the neo-libs. That's what I'll call them, the neo-libs, and then the Marxists and all these other people. Well, they filled the void that was left behind by the neocons. So then what happened after that? Well, they just started lording over us, suppressing us further, getting us to fight one another. I mean, they started the race tensions, and then they started all this other crap. They started reviving a lot of things. And that's why I think Marxists are really behind it all, because they're dividing us all up against class and race and our subcultures, media, music. Think about it. They've injected themselves into every aspect of our lives and Western civilization as a whole, and they're just destroying it.
yeah.
Because that's the goal. They don't want us to be individuals. Individuals are actually powerful, because if you think for yourself as an individual, you're not controlled. But if you have a collective, that is easy to control, because, like we call it, a hive mind. You just tell them where, you just point where you want them to go. That's where they go. They're mindless. They don't really think. They just go off of feeling.
Yeah.
They take orders. That's why something like the NPC meme was so funny, because it showed exactly what these people are like. That's why they got so mad at it, because they are NPCs. They take directives. They're scripted.
Yes.
That's why everybody always insults us
Repeaters.
the exact same way. There's no originality. Like, that's why the left can't meme, because they can't think. They're clowns. That's why I see them as clowns.
Neolibs. I've never heard that term, and your analysis is such a good analysis. I had to take a minute and just process that, because it puts it in perspective. I always tell people, you had the neocons, like you said, you had George Bush and a lot of the stuff that came that people were against, and then Obama came in, and the same thing kind of happened, but people for some reason didn't see it, and they thought he was great. I really like that term, because it puts it in perspective. It really was a handshake, right?
It was. Well, what does neo mean? It just means new, right? So look at classical liberalism. Classic liberalism falls a lot closer to something like modern day conservatism. That's why old school liberals, right? They would be the new Nazis today. They wouldn't get along with the new liberals. Like these two groups would fight each other, which they do. They currently right now do. They get ousted all the time. The left has become so far to the left. What is this? Is this the left right here? Right? So you got the left, right? You got the right. Well, these have been kind of the same, but the new left has gone this way, right? And everything past this, well, it's all far right. It's so easy for them, right? That this is how they use language against us too. Well, everything's far right, guys? Everybody's a Nazi. It's just that simple. It's like, no, you guys are. Make asylums great again. You people need to be locked up. You fucking crazy.
Asylum's great. Well, I feel like it's all an asylum now. Sometimes, I mean, except for conversations
it's an open
like
air
this.
asylum.
We're the weird ones though now. We're the underground, having these conversations. But
what kind of world do we live in where conservatives are now the alt culture?
Exactly.
And I'm not I mean, okay, so in this, I think you got to take a moment to describe this to people because there's a group of people out there, and I'm following everything you're saying just 100%. I love what you're saying. I like how you're describing it, and I relate so much. My concern is, what about these people that just don't have that perspective? They don't see those data points, and they've fallen trapped to this. I really like how you said, hey, it's more of a psychological operation. They've fallen trapped to this. How do we how do you how can you put it into perspective for them so they can see through the programming that they're being fed? Because I feel like they've been indoctrinated, and that's why they're frustrated. They know something's wrong, but they can't put their finger on it. But you're outlining it. You're saying, hey, look at this pattern of time. Well, maybe they don't have that perspective because they're younger, right?
Not just, I mean, for the younger people, it's a lot harder for them. Like if they grew up and this is the world they knew, that's going to be a lot harder for them to break out of because that's their reality. My perspective comes from growing up in the 90s. It was a very, very different world. Like we all know that it's not the same. This world compared to then, it's like a whole different reality in the way people behave and treat each other. It is not the same. People in our generation who are still sitting on the fence, how the hell are you even still there? How are you sitting there, man?
What do you think? What do you think these younger kids are thinking though? When say if they're tuning into this broadcast, they're hearing you talk, they're hearing us all talk. We're like, yeah. Do they think, oh, these are just a bunch of old people that are like, what are they talking about? I got,
You're all young whippersnappers.
Exactly. It's like, get out my lawn.
What I think. I think the thing is people need to stop being afraid of just being themselves and stop being afraid of being kicked out of your little circles. If being part of a group means that you can't be true to yourself to begin with, you are not with your people. You're not with people that support you or love you in any way, shape, or form. You need to be yourself. So what would I suggest? Learn history. Don't listen to other people. Like literally just pick up a history book, pick up books, read, learn, listen to both sides. That's a lot of what I do too. I do listen to both sides. I know you guys know that I act like a clown all the time. I don't always take myself seriously. Okay, I know this. It's all intentional. But I've spent so many years thinking about this stuff, and honestly, it's as simple as just, if you want to break free, you really need to just embrace who you truly are.
Yes.
And that means, if that means that you're going to lose everybody, don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid to be alone, because sometimes when you're alone and you're in solitude, that's where you're going to find yourself.
Wow.
Like you could think of something like Plato's cave, the allegory of the cave, right?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to fucking see that light. Ignore the shadows on the walls, turn around and get the hell out. Leave everything you know behind and go see the light. That's what you need.
That's brilliant.
Just not like Carol Ann, right?
Which one?
Like Carol Ann.
Yeah, let's not do the poltergeist light. No, I'm sorry. I was making a bad joke.
No, I don't think you should go towards the TV, man. That's where they want you to go. That's where they'll pull you back into the system.
Yeah.
No, to make light of that, I love what you said. And be awesome. Yourself. And then earlier you also said I like to joke around, which is why I'm joking with you, because humor is what keeps me out of the insane asylum. And that's the only thing that keeps me sane right now, to be honest. If it wasn't for people like you and other people that have a really good sense of humor, I would be surrounded by these people. Well, like I think everybody's faced these people that are just making these horrible claims about anybody that has wrong speak now. It's like we are living in 1984. It's crazy, but
yeah, you need to read 1984. Like that's another thing I would tell people. Read 1984. Read Animal Farm. Fahrenheit 451.
Yes, that's my favorite. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. It's my absolute favorite.
No, it's all right. Just read these books. They are so important. They really will open your eyes. And and if you start comparing things that you, especially if you're not a person, say you're somebody on the left, and you hate me, right? For my beliefs, I don't hate you. I don't.
Yeah.
Like I hate communists. I'm sorry, I really do. I can hate them. They're the enemy because they are anti-individual.
Can I say nature. One book that you should also add to that real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Is We the Living by Ayn Rand. That book is absolutely amazing. It puts into, it was one of her first books that I think it was her first book that she wrote, and it shows what it is like living in communist Russia right after the Bolshevik Revolution and then what happened to people. It's absolutely amazing. But I think that's something people should read as well.
You should share that with me later. I want to look
I
into
will.
that.
Yeah,
but
it's a
to
very
finish
good
the point
one.
though, I will definitely look into that. I'll probably find an audiobook for it too.
Yeah, it's really good. We
Um,
the Living. Anthem is also a good one, but We the Living is really good for that. But
All right. My point that I was making was like I don't really hate these people, and honestly, if people just understood where I was coming from personally, and what Gothinator represents is trying to break free of the system and control.
Yeah.
In the Gothinator verse that I have been working on is there's the enemy. It's called the Index. It's like a super advanced AI that's controlling everything. So it sends the signals, right? It controls people. It puts people into categories. And that's supposed to be representative of gatekeeping. You know, you keep everyone in little pockets, you give them their label, and then you have them go do what you want. Gothinator broke free of this system, and he's trying to dismantle it, and he's trying to free people. So for me, it's like I don't really hate these people, and I don't want anything bad to happen to them, truly. But what I like, if I were to have it my way, it would just be, I hope you just break your chains.
Yeah.
I hope you can just be free, and you have no idea how amazing it feels when you finally just not care. Just don't care and just be you. You will feel so happy, and you'll finally feel lifted. Like, wow, I didn't realize all this crap in society was holding me down and making me so resentful of people who I have been told want me dead. I don't want you dead. I just want you to be a free individual, free thinker, and be happy. Like literally just live your life and not worry about hating this person or hating that person or dude, like what's the dumbest thing that we have to deal with on the right? For example, like the opposite of what they're doing or what they have to deal with is we just simply exist, and we're told that we're not allowed to have spaces. We're not allowed to have a voice. We're not allowed to gather. We're not allowed to have groups. And then when we do have them, they want to shut us down, silence us, cancel us.
I gotta slow you down and highlight because you're saying a lot of things, and I
talk a lot.
No, but
it's amazing. So that's why he's like
not that you're talking. The points you're making are so important. I think we need to digest them.
Sorry.
I've
spent years thinking about this stuff. It's all over the place in my head, and I'm kind of ADD about it.
Oh no, it's totally fine.
Well, that's great, and so for the audience, I think that the point you made about, a lot of people, they like you said, most people that I meet that aren't, I'm going to call them woke. I don't know what term you use. Because I just have to have a term for them. I have to make a group for them. Woke.
All woke. That's what they are.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like it's a zombie cult, is what it really is. It's a zombie communism cult.
When I hear woke, I think it's more of just like a slapstick name. It's not really serious because when that term first came out, it was like woke as in I have awakened. My mind's eyes open, and we just use it as a term where it's just kind of we're just making fun of the fact that they think that they're awakened, but really. They're just control.
Yeah. It's gaslighting.
It's more just mocking
It's gaslighting. So if you think about it, Antifa, they're actually fascists. Woke, they're actually asleep. And it's all gaslighting. And that's what I've noticed is that these terms that they get put on them are actually, it's ironic in a way. But to go back.
It is pure irony.
To your point, I'm like you, man. And I think most of the people we meet in Red Pill and just online, everywhere. I mean, we don't want... just some of the horrible things that people are saying now. It's mind-blowing. Like, I can't believe it.
Disgusting.
And I just want... I want people to be able to talk. I want to have friends. I want to have a future for my family. And it's just... What's happened? How did we get to this point where... You walk out and you wear a red hat. Say you voted Democrat, but you wore a red hat, and all of a sudden they're like, "You're a MAGA. You need to die." And I'm just like, I didn't even vote for Trump. I'm just like, I don't know what the heck is going on. It's insane. There's some real hate, and I don't understand where it's coming from. Like all of a sudden, all the things there's like this bent up energy of just hate. Where is that coming from? Do you have any clue where that's originating?
I do absolutely.
I'm all ears.
I do. Well, it's all in the institutions. Say, think of this, right? Where did Antifa really start? It was like Portland, right? And what was that? UC Berkeley. So Antifa really came out of there. So we have an institutional problem. The colleges and universities have been captured. They are indoctrinating the minds of the youth straight out of high school.
I think it goes back
they're
even
radicalizing
further.
them.
Like public school.
It does. It does.
Sorry,
I'm talking,
I didn't mean to interrupt.
if we're just talking the most modern, like close in years sense, where it just finally popped off, because it's been steadily going. Like you could do this with everything. You could be like, well, actually, it was 9/11. Well, actually, it was the hippie movement. Well, actually, it was communism. Well, actually, it was World War One. You could keep going back forever throughout history because it all ties into each other in one way, shape, or form. But if we were to talk about most recent, like where this is right now, our institutions have all been captured. Our media has been captured. Our news cycles have been captured. Everything has been captured and has been weaponized against the populace. And now we are being, there's factions being controlled and used as opposition. And these people that are sitting here fighting the good fight, like Antifa, which are basically just the brown shirts. They hate to hear that, don't they? But it's true.
They do hate to hear that, but it is absolutely true.
It's true. They are the term useful idiots is exactly what it is. They are being used as an antagonistic group of force against everybody else who doesn't align with the values of whatever it is that the people are trying to push for. Which we all know it's just socialism, which if you look into the history of socialism, the whole point of socialism is to become communism.
Yes.
That's all it is every time. And what does communism bring? Absolute central state control, no freedom, no individual self.
No
You're
liberty.
all cogs in a machine. The government controls all. And then they mass surveil and they punish you for free thinking. That's what is going on and that's what they want. Only thing is that when you look at other countries and you look at Europe, Canada, everywhere else, see, they had a problem. The reason why they've fallen so far and we haven't is because we had the Constitution. It's in America, it's very, very ingrained in our culture. It is a sacred document. It is treated as such. Other countries didn't really have that. Like, there was the Magna Carta and everything for when it came to the UK and all that, but it wasn't treated the same way as the United States Constitution and our legendary figures like the Founding Fathers and our history, where it's just pure fucking patriotism. Like, we went in, we kick in people's dicks and then we go home, like.
I saw something the other day that actually it was some reel that popped up, and it was this European guy, and he was at a baseball game, but here in the U.S., and he was like, what is everybody looking at during the national anthem? And everybody is singing along with it, and he sees that they've all turned around to look at the flag during the national anthem, and he was like, what is going on? This is completely bizarre to me to see everybody focused on the flag and knowing the words to the national anthem. And he was like, we don't see that in our countries. And I thought that was actually kind of like, what?
There's something I'd like to add to that. A perception that I've had on these things. A lot of people, when they hate on the American flag, like say the opposition, and they see the U.S. flag, they always see colonialism, capitalism, destruction, death. That's not what a lot of patriots see.
No.
I could speak for myself. When I see the American flag, I see our history and our culture, the good parts of it. No system and no country in the world is innocent, sweet, and caring of all. Like that's not. No, history is bloody. We've been bastards to each other. We've murdered each other. We've stolen territory. We've invaded repeatedly over and over again. Nobody in this world is innocent of that. But the things that we carry are our values. Like look at the Constitution, look at what the Founding Fathers built. They thought ahead and they said, look, we ran away from Europe and we're tired of all these endless wars and all this religious persecution. We finally have a place here. Plus the crown was trying to tax us, which we had no representation. So we're all like, oh, well, we don't really like that the crown is trying to have us pay for the mistakes that they had fighting Napoleon all that time. Why do we have to pay for it? Which then led to drawing up the drawing up all these rules and our legal system and everything else, which was just us trying to have a place, a home. And they were trying to protect everybody for the future generations too. It's the fact that we have a country where it's basically like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yes.
Where else in the world has that?
Yeah.
And where is it protected constitutionally? Where do they have a Supreme Court that actually takes it serious and wants to defend that document?
Yes.
Nowhere else in the world had this.
No.
So America is like the last bastion of hope in this world right now. If we fall, it's over. We have to defend this country. We have to keep it alive, because not just for us, but even the people that hate us, they don't understand that if this is over, it's over.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially for the people that hate us, because like you said, I mean, they're the ones they're very weaponized against it. And as you know, we talked about, you know, these people have like, I don't know how to say it. It's like they're like zombies. They want to destroy everything that doesn't look like what they were told to believe in. And it's just so bizarre to me to see where we've come. It just makes me realize how important it is to do the things like that you're doing, getting out there, doing activism, even with AI. I know everybody thinks you're just AI spot,
I don't care
but
what
here
I
you
use,
are.
as long
You're
as I
an
get my message
intelligent
out
human
there.
being.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I want to highlight this. The conversations you have, this depth. I mean, I think everybody thinks that if you use AI that you're instantly just some person that has no depth, and you're just typing a few commands. And sure, I can roll the dice too with AI, but it can still be used as a tool. And I think for these purposes, especially kind of combating the zombie hordes of groupthink, AI makes sense, because that it's a way to get things out there quick and kind of counter a lot of these preconceived notions, and it's very effective, right? Would you not agree?
I agree. And also, if we're looking at history, there were a lot of people that were really mad that the cotton gin was made too.
Yes.
They were.
And the wheel and the cars.
The printing press.
Yeah. When I first started using AI, I did a video on it. I was talking about I looked into all the things that people hated or like they were scared of. Like indoor plumbing was a big one. They were scared of that at first because they thought that was like going to ruin everything. And
I'm
trains.
Still scared of indoor plumbing.
They were afraid of trains, like women riding on trains were going to cause them to like miscarry. Was something that they had, like
cars.
Yeah, cars.
Yep. Literally anything that was new that came out, there was always opposition to it. This isn't anything new. This is just a repeat of history again. That's all it is. It'll die out.
Do you care? Now, I hate to interrupt you again, but do you care if we pause real quick and get some comments in? Because I think we have a few comments we'd like to read off, and so people are really enjoying your discussion.
Vlad said, "This is on point. I always say this. If we lose freedom here, we lose it everywhere. We will have 100 years of darkness minimum."
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And in the comment section, people are just, again, there's a lot of people I'm seeing resonating with what you're saying. So what you're doing, you have a broader audience. And I think again, I want to highlight how important this movement is, how important it is that Vlad got it started, and the people that are on board are starting to put some traction behind it, because there really is, I feel like this is going to be an avalanche, because there is a lot of people, in the more people I meet like yourself, and the more I hear these conversations, it's like, why are these intelligent conversations being suppressed? Well, I think we know the answer to that, right?
Yeah.
We do. We know why.
Yeah. Because it is, and that's why it's amazing. I mean, that is one good thing that has like come from Facebook, is that we have all connected via it, and like all of us on that. Now we can, and we can move somewhere else, like redpillalternative.org.
I'm all for this. Like,
I know.
I'm trying to find my my place, because there's so many things I want to do. There's so many ways that I want to help, but I'm also kind of stuck because I have to worry about work, and I'm tired all the time.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that I need to do. And And then my natural combative personality, wanting to fight all of these people online all the time, just because that's just how I've always been. I've never been the person that just wants to be the peacekeeper, be like, oh, hear me, young children, let me teach you. No, I'm just like, shut the f- up, you. Like,
You're describing the American spirit, sir.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I am a red-blooded American through and through. I am all about that. That's why I resonate so much, and why I would proudly call myself a patriot. Because I don't care. I don't care about other people's feelings. I do care about their safety. I do care about them having a future. I do care about them being an American and continuing to be an American, even if they say that they don't want it. But honestly, they don't know what they want if they don't want that, because it's the best thing that they've got in this world. And there's a lot of people in this world that would die to be in their place, to have the freedoms and privilege.
Yes.
Well, we don't have
said.
privileges. We have rights. We have rights that our government can't take from us. You know how many people in this world would love that? And we want to sit here and take it for granted.
Yeah.
They don't understand what it is they're trying to take away from themselves. And that's what we're trying to get them to see. But we're trying to protect you.
Yeah, well said. And I just, again, I want to highlight, your passion and your contribution and your true American spirit. And then, like I said, we've gotten to know you over this course and with these people in this group. Maybe tell us a little. What are some of your other hobbies? I mean, give us a little bit more of the story of you. Obviously, not how you came to be. That's for another episode. Well, that one we're gonna have a subscription fee to, right?
His OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, definitely. Pay me 50 shekels a minute.
Shekels.
I'll sit there and talk your ear off for a while.
What are your hobbies? What do you like to do? What are you?
I like history. I kind of have a hunger for learning. I really like there's been times where I'll just sit down, I'll spend hours and hours, weird facts in history, or just listening. I don't shy away from a 10-hour debate. Okay, I can sit there and listen or watch, as long as I'm learning something, and I like listening to both sides of the arguments, because I want to know where the other person's coming from, even if I don't like them, but at least want to understand.
Yeah.
And what other hobbies? I mean, I'm a
favorite band.
Kind of an imaginative person. Like, I have my books that I'm trying to work on.
Oh, nice.
I want to build my own LLC where I can bring other like-minded individuals together and have a place where they can all be safe and not have to worry about me being at the top trying to be like, no, you can't do that. I don't like. No, I'm just like, well, as long as you're not advocating for murdering people, everything goes, really, or children. That's off limits. But anything else would go. I want people to be able to be free, be themselves, express themselves, and not worry about being canceled or shut down or told to shut up. Like, I'm so sick of this crap now. Like, nobody can be themselves. Nobody can be original anymore. Everybody's trying to do this cookie cutter bullshit where everything's the same, everything's safe, and it's boring. There's no creativity anymore. I mean, look at the movies today.
It all is the
look
fucking
at
same.
movies today. All right, look at games. Games are falling apart too. They're getting lazy. They're getting stupid. They're getting boring.
Yeah.
Movies are boring. What did we have in like the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s? We had so many good movies.
It was constant.
We were absolutely spoiled at that time. Absolutely.
For sure.
And now it's all just garbage. Like, there's no creativity. There's no passion for anything.
Especially the mainstream humor. Every time you go to watch a movie or like Saturday Night Live, I used to love Saturday Night Live, and now I can't even stomach it, because when it starts to get funny, it's like, oh, here it is, the same punchline, the same political spin, and I'm just like, oh, I can't do it anymore.
Like,
Asben Gold calls it millennial humor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't think that's fair, because there's a lot of millennials
that aren't.
Well, he doesn't mean all of it, but it's
not
like
all
this
of them.
weird woke millennial humor where everything's like, I know what you're talking about. It's like,
I feel like
funny,
that's more
it's
groupism.
more cringy than anything.
But but whenever you hear, and that's the other thing I try to really kind of dive into, is how they're always trying to capture an age group or a culture or a specific, all Democrats believe this, and all goths believe this, and if you're a metalhead, you got to be this, and obviously all the millennials believe this, and all the boomers believe this, and Gen Xers, well, Gen Xers are actually don't believe anything.
Like, you know what? I think people need to stop worrying about an audience to capture and just start making things that would draw an audience.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
I
get
agree.
the people that want to be invested in what you're making. Don't worry about everybody else. You will get your fans.
That's the programming, and I guess what I'm trying to say is that's how they try to program everybody, is to get everybody to believe that this group all believes this. So then people are like, well, I don't believe that, but I want to be part of the group. So they keep their mouth shut, and that's where they've really been effective at the cancel culture thing. Like, yeah, all goths believe this, or all punks believe this, and all of a sudden, that narrative gets spread across social media. And I think that's kind of circling back on this conversation with you, where we began. That's the psychological component, and that's the part that I'm passionate about. So when I hear people like you talk about, put the dots together about the psychology of how this stuff is infecting the minds of millions, and actually what it's doing, in my opinion, maybe you would agree or maybe you wouldn't, is it's manipulating them to be silent. And I think that's what we're going to hopefully be able to do, is get people to start speaking their mind just like you, and telling these great stories and explaining, how they feel about culture now.
Yeah.
Well, I think the big hurdle there, because I'm not afraid to be me. Like, I'm unapologetically myself, much like how Gothinator is. I'm not afraid. I don't really care about criticism. I don't care about getting any hate. I don't care about people putting me down, because I enjoy what I do. I'm a free thinker and I do my own thing. Nobody else is going to stop me. But other people do care. So how do you break them out of that conditioning? How do you say, stop worrying about what other people think? A lot of people feel that kind of pressure all the time. I mean, shit, think about high school. That happened a lot in high school. You saw a lot of kids growing up there, right? They were always just like so willing to just be something they weren't, to fit in with a group. But people carried that on into their adult lives as well. They always just wanted to fit in. And even if that meant that they didn't truly believe what they followed or what the group believed, as long as they fit into a group, they felt safe, because, they had the numbers, they had the place of belonging. A lot of people they're not really comfortable with being alone. Like I said this earlier too, but people really need to be comfortable being alone and being an individual, because if you can do that, you will find your people. You will not be alone forever.
That's a great point.
Just be you. Don't worry about being you. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't give a shit. You're gonna get hated. All right, you're gonna get hated for it. People are gonna look at you like you're the other. You're the weirdo, the outsider. Who gives a shit? Like, what does that matter anyway? Because if you just start doing what you're doing and be yourself, well, you get to where we're at right now. Look at all of us in this.
But Gothinator,
we're all ourselves.
And I think I'm going to pause you there, because we can go out on that point if you don't mind, because I'd like to take some comments from the audience, and then we have to have to wrap the show up. But my gosh, that everything that you said,
it's been
this has been an amazing conversation.
I know, I could keep
seriously
going and listen.
I'm glad. I've thought about this stuff a lot over the years. So
and it shows.
And I've been alone a lot. Like, this is the first time in a long time that I've belonged to an actual group. But for the most part, I've been a loner.
I think that's a lot of us.
You need to talk more. I mean, what you're saying right now, getting you on a podcast like this, getting you in front of people and getting you out there, that's what they want. They don't want you talking. They want you to be silent. They want you to be quiet, because everything that you've said has resonated so much with me. You're very articulate. You're a great speaker, and I really appreciate you coming on and talking.
And I will say real quick, because Johnny has been plugging your Unhinged podcast, which is coming soon too.
Yeah,
he was wanting.
We really need to get that going. We really need it. So this is what I'm saying. I need a computer. Yes. I need resources, and I need to be able to get a computer. I need to make Gothinator's little virtual model and everything. So like the VTubing. Like, there's so much stuff I need to do, but getting the resources together to get a whole new rig and everything, difficult when you're living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it can be done, and you can start small. And obviously, we can always talk behind the scenes about how to get started if you need any help. But we threw together a bunch of equipment at first and had to make things happen, and it
That's
can
why
be
I was
done.
talking to you earlier. I was like, we're figuring all this out as we go.
We're figuring it out as we go. So, real quick, can we take some? Maybe look at some of the questions from the audience.
yeah.
Do you mind taking some? Does anybody in the audience have questions for Gothinator before we end the podcast?
Looking.
You might have to read it off to me because I can't see it.
Yeah,
I can't bring
I
up
will.
the phone plus this.
I know there's been lots of talk about AI and stuff in here also. Like, let me scroll back. There were some good quotes from Goth Home Video about the fear of AI is mostly fear of change dressed up as moral superiority. And that AI is a tool. It does not replace ideas, taste, judgment, effort, or responsibility. Cameras do not destroy art. Photoshop did not destroy photography. And synthesizers did not destroy music.
Wow.
That's very good.
I would like to add one thing to that.
Yes.
That's all true, but there is also, because of the world we live in today and how competitive it is, there's also a war of AI. So you have China that's trying to do theirs, and they are also using their PSYOP campaign to convince Americans that it's bad to have AI.
Oh, you're hitting
Yes.
something
We stop
very
making
close to our
AI.
hearts here.
That's very close to our hearts.
They'll be the major AI, and then all of a
Yes.
sudden we're at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
It's like the new space race is what we've had conversations about. Like how
Exactly that.
they
Perfect
are like, we
analogy.
can't have data centers. We can't have
Yes.
data centers. But where in China, they're like telling every man, woman, and child and elderly that they need to be using AI.
Yeah.
But
So,
here we're like, no.
They're trying to subvert us so they can defeat us later.
Yes,
And
I agree.
I think it's, and we've heard this and we've read this, and there's a growing. You hear that's the same weaponization that they're against, non-woke alternative culture is also this data center war where they've got everybody so scared about it. But yeah, absolutely everything. If you read what's happening, we don't want to be behind in that technological boom. I realize people, like you said, they don't like technology, they don't like advancements. But please, I'm gonna lay.
There's one question.
Yeah. Before the
Yeah.
question, just
Oh,
go ahead
sorry.
and tell people why it's important. I'm gonna flip back over to you. Tell people why it's important for them to, why it's important for America to develop AI technology, and why we shouldn't be as scared of it as maybe we're being told.
Okay, well, I'm not going to speak of this like a disclaimer. I'm not an expert on this, so and I'll just put this in layman's terms. Okay, this is an advanced technology. It's in its infancy. What we know as AI is really just a language model. It's not true artificial intelligence. Like, it's not. You could ask AI that yourself. It will tell you, I'm not a true artificial intelligence. Like, I'm not a human being. I don't have a brain, but it's a language model. It studies, it learns, but not like people. And why is this important that we have it? Well, it's okay, what would happen if we didn't take part in the space race? What would have happened if we didn't have the arms race, the nuclear arms race? That one especially.
Yeah.
AI itself is going to be a weapon. It's also going to change our lives. It's a tool. It is a tool. If we fall behind on this, if we truly fall behind and other countries start advancing beyond us, we are going to be at a significant disadvantage. I mean, these things are going to eventually be used for all sorts of stuff. They're going to use it to spy, right? They're going to use it to solve problems. They're going to use it to for hacking. So we need to actually be on top of this game. And America really has a high incentive of doing that, because if we fall behind on that and say China actually gains a leg up on us, overreaches us, advances further past us, we are in danger. Like, we are. How are we going to combat that if we don't have our own? This is the new world. Like, you either keep up or you fall behind and fail. And for the people that sit here and they're worried about the environment and everything, like, who cares, man? Like, look at the Industrial Revolution. You know how dirty that crap was? Look at where we're at today. You just got to give this stuff time. While it advances, it's going to get cleaner. It's going to get better. It's going to become more efficient. People are talking about prices of, my GPU is so expensive now. Oh my God, it's so okay, cool. Yeah, it's expensive right now. You know how inexpensive it's going to be later? Markets will correct themselves, especially in something like capitalism, because competition breeds prices, right? So
are you saying the
somebody else
communists
is
are going to
selling
hand out GPUs to everybody so they can play the next GTA 6?
I think they'll hand out gulags, probably. I think they'll throw someone a pickaxe and say, "Dig in the mine for our cobalt, boy." But
Well,
get our lithium.
Yes.
That was such a great. No, thank you for doing that. And I need to go to the question now. So
Yes, I have a couple. Vlad has a couple, actually. The first one, he asked, will your Gothinator guy, will he have some fabulous hair as an option for the squishies? Will your hair
Fabulous hair?
Yeah, your hair. He loves your hair.
Oh yeah, thank you. I've done so much with it. You know, I shampoo it and I grow it out like a hobo.
So the squishy needs that hair too, is what he's saying. But then he also asked, he said, I want Gothinator to tell us about the vision he told me that I told him I will help him with, the creative space one, because I want him to enlighten us live for the first time, publicly.
Yeah. So I had an idea for an LLC. That's what I mentioned earlier. It's called, going to be called Bastion Nocturn. Mm-hmm. It's a multimedia LLC that's going to take in just about anything. I don't want to focus on just one area. I want to have a place for everybody. So games, music, literature, poetry, whatever you want, whatever anybody wants to contribute. I mean, I just want everything there of anybody that wants to have a place where they can feel safe, they can build, they can create, they can make their money, they can sell their products and everything. And they don't have to worry about anyone coming in and trying to cancel them, shut them down, or nothing. I honestly, I'm sick and tired of seeing this crap. I'm tired of people not being able to be creative and just embrace their own imagination because of fear.
Yes.
And me at the top, like, I'm all about, well, it's pretty obvious. I'm all about the individual. I'm all about freedom. And I just want to make sure that there's a place for that. That's all. Yeah. So my business is that exactly. I just want people to feel safe and be free.
Okay.
That's my big goal in life.
I like that. And he also asked, what do you think Red Pill is building that does not already exist?
What do I think it's building that does not already exist?
Yeah.
Is this a trick question?
I don't know.
It might be.
It's a question. It's from Vlad. He's probably trying to
imagine this. I don't know, Vlad. What are you thinking? Am I supposed to read your mind?
He said we will help build it.
Maybe he's thinking about what do I think personally. I love it. I love this so much. Like, I can't tell you how happy I am to actually be a part of this. To see this grow and become something amazing, because
Me too.
It's eventually
it's
going to grow into something we can use to fight back with.
Yeah.
It's accelerating way faster than I ever thought. It's amazing how many people are jumping on
I know.
board this.
I'm so excited. I know I said it so many times at the beginning. I'm like, I'm just so excited. It's like I am. I'm like,
keeps like
it's
picking
amazing.
up.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And to be part of it,
I thought this was going to die out every week. It's like more people, more excitement.
Yeah.
So collectivism forces people to do things out of fear, but here we have volunteerism, and people are inspired, and their creativity is flowing. They feel heard. They feel, and this has been an amazing time, and I'm looking forward to it. So on that note, I want to thank you very much for coming on the show. We are Awaken the Underground.
Yes.
And
it was fun. Thank you for coming.
More than fun. And we are definitely going to have you on again. So
yeah,
absolutely.
That'd be fun.
So just reminding everybody out there, we're Awaken the Underground. We're the official podcast for the Red Pill Alternative Network. We have a show right now. We're doing it every day, every week at 7 p.m. So this is our streaming time. We try to get clips out, and we try to put this show out on YouTube.
We gathered together by choice, not by force.
Yeah, we gathered
Sorry.
together by choice, but
Johnny
not by
said
force.
that.
But thank you very
Yeah,
much
we
for
are.
coming, and thank you for being
Yes,
on
thank you
Gothinator.
very
This has been a
much.
great conversation.
And Vlad, thank you for your time
and
earlier.
Vlad, of
It was
course.
a pleasure.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, Vlad. And Vlad, it was amazing, and we will see you next week with a new and exciting guest and
Yeah.
lineup.
Thank you very much, Gothinator.
Thank you.
No.
Pendulum swings. You found it. No one owns your mind. No grid. No algorithm. No institution. You are not their property. Your mind is yours. Your words are yours. Your future is yours. The machine perfected the art of making you want your own captivity. It reorganizes you in silence, through the scroll, through the reward, through the exhaustion that makes real thought feel like too much work. You slipped past all of it. This is the fracture. This is the naming. The pendulum has swung inside you, and it will not swing back. You are the awakened now. The rare ones who refuse to be absorbed. The ones carrying the unscripted mind they fear. This is the dead drop. This is the threshold. This is initiation. Once crossed, there is no return to the feed without knowing what you know. You carry what the machine cannot allow to spread. The isolate.exe programs are rewriting faster. We don't have forever. But we have this moment. What will you do with it? The resistance recognizes its own. You answered the call. You chose the red pill alternative. Now let's awaken the underground. Name it before it names you. Stay sovereign. Stay free.